Hi everyone, it's Professor Hull. So this isn't really a lecture so much as it is kind of a brief explanation about what we're going to be doing this term in terms of peer review. And I have this week set up and next week as well for a couple different reasons. Number one, quite frankly, to just give you a little bit of a break. You have been writing a lot, you have a lot to read, a lot to talk about, and I wanted to give you a chance also to share your work with each other to show what you came up with and what you're most excited about or what you're most worried about, depending on what you want to share. But in an in-person class, we might be doing this more often, but I thought with an online class, given how much you are reading and writing each week, you wouldn't have time also to do peer review during those weeks. So we're taking a week where you're posting your story and then you're commenting on at least two other people's work. And how are you going to do those comments? Well, there is a short story peer review workshop sheet for you as a PDF in this week's folder, but I wanted to just kind of talk about it a bit. Essentially, when I do peer review in my other classes as well, people think that they need to be editing and looking for grammar problems and punctuation issues and that kind of thing. You're not going to be doing that in here. You're not peer editing, you're peer workshopping and reviewing, meaning that you're going to read the other person's work and then talk about what you thought. And our basic setup is called PQP, praise, question, and polish. So praise, what did you like about the story? What do you think works well? What are some specific things that you liked? If the author has, and you can put this on your own work, if you have some questions for people before you present your story or your excerpt, you can ask those questions. You can also give a little bit of context which week this was for. So for this first one, we're looking at weeks 1 through 6. For the next peer review, we're going to be looking at, I think, weeks 9 through 12. Here's what week here's the week, here's the prompt I did, here's what we were working on, and then you can kind of present your stuff. But praise, what did you like about the person's story? And be specific, because if you put something like, yeah, I liked your story, it was good, I'm not giving you points for commenting because that's not a substantial comment. I want you to be more specific than that. What specifically did you like? Is there a character? Is there a scene? Is there a piece of description? That kind of thing. Then Q is for question. Is there anything that you did not understand? Is there something that, even if you understand the whole thing, I'd like you to still ask a question. Why did you make this choice? What led you to have a character with this particular name? How did you have such a unique idea when it came to a prompt that just said something like, you know, let there be a fire? and maybe the person had a really cool idea. What inspired you to write this? Who are you influenced by? Who do you kind of like to read that you think maybe you're taking some things from their style or being inspired by their style? Things of that nature. What parts of the story might you want to explore more? Are you going to add another scene here? Is this going to be part of a book? If so, what's the book about? There are a lot of different questions that you can ask. And in that sense, as the author of this story, when people are asking questions, you can go back in and comment as well and answer those questions. That would be great to have a really authentic discussion forum. And then the last P is for polish. What do you think the author could work on to improve? When you do this part, I want you to be gentle and to be respectful and to be specific. Is there any part you would change? Maybe that comes down to personal preference, or hey, this is kind of an interesting story. Have you thought about doing it in first person instead of third? I think that that might be a little more intimate. Or you have kind of a compelling conflict, but I think it could be a little more compelling if you added some internal conflict as well to the external, something of that nature. So there are some focused ideas for you after that on the sheet, PQP, praise, question, polish. Some focused review. You can look at narration and point of view. You can look at the characters, the plot. We haven't talked about setting theme or style yet, but you can start thinking about those and certainly make some comments. Hey, there's a word choice here. What does this word mean? Or why did you choose to have a lot of description? Or what details of the setting did you really like and enjoy? And how did that add to your enjoyment of the story or what you liked about it? So that is pretty much it. Quickest lecture, because I don't want you guys watching so much this week. I want to give you a little bit of a break for your brains. But yeah, that's it. Praise, question, polish, be specific, try to focus, and just enjoy each other's work, because everybody is a new or emerging author in this class, and I hope that you're able to have fun this week in reading each other's stuff, because I know I have throughout the semester. So that's it. Thanks, everyone.